Native Son is a contemporary adaptation of Richard Wright's 1940 novel. The focus of the novel and the film is a young black man, Bigger Thomas Ashton Sanders of Moonlight fame, who lives with his mother, Sanaa Lathan, and younger siblings in a poor area of Chicago. His girlfriend Bessie, Kiki Lane, works as a hairdresser. Resisting temptation from mates into a world of crime, he abandons his poorly paid work as a bicycle messenger for the job of chauffeur to the wealthy Dalton family. Father Bill Camp, blind mother Elizabeth Marvel, and wild child daughter Mary, Margaret Qualley. And it's through his association with Mary that Bigger's life undergoes a dramatic change. The film is a directorial debut from visual artist Rashid Johnson, the screenplay adapted by the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Susan Laurie Parks. There are difficulties in bringing this story, originally set in the 1930s, into the present day, although many of the issues facing young black men in America still exist.
You trying to rob a corner store at gunpoint? I'm sorry, I'm not interested in being a part of some least common denominator stereotypical Negro shit.
You ain't gotta call it that, man.
Well, that's what it is, though.
I haven't read the highly acclaimed novel, but my understanding is that it focused on the inevitability of Bigger's life trajectory. It was much harsher, and still, this film is an American tragedy, but it tends more to melodrama in its latter half, perhaps lingering slightly too long on some of the more gruesome events. Young Ashton Sanders impresses as Bigger, as does Kiki Lane as Bessie. The film's visual style is arresting, although the cinematography of Matthew Libatique is relentlessly dour, as is the score by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein, telegraphing the underlying tragedy that is inevitable. So while I have some issues with the film, I'm very glad I had the chance to experience it and acquaint myself with the themes of this groundbreaking novel.
Yes, I'm pleased too. It really seems to be a film, potentially a much more complex film than it perhaps turned out to be, a film about the authenticity of the black experience. How do you maintain a sense of authenticity when in a sense, you cohabit with white folk? I mean, how do you balance the two? The passing off element becomes an issue. But here it kind of gets lost. As you say, melodrama takes over. And
well, again, it's really a film noir in a lot of ways too.
Yes, well, I think the dourness that you reference is really an attempt to sort of do a kind of 30s look in a sense, and which sort of works up to a point. But the melodrama is really a problem as they attempt to really give this 30s novel a very contemporary relevance. And again, we can't discuss that because it gives away too much of, the plot. But it just doesn't really hold together. There's too many things that just don't work, which is a real pity because there's a tremendous complexity at the base of it, which was really quite interesting, I thought.
Well, you sort of go, whereas the act was too long for its story, you feel that this is almost too short for its story. Do you know what I mean? I wonder how it would have played out as a series.
No, yeah, that's interesting there because there are so many ideas that are dealt with that are then
really
truncated. It's all just pushed together at the end.
As a melodrama, film noir-y melodrama. So look, I would give this 3.5 stars. I think it's interesting, but not great.
No, I'd give it 3, I'm afraid. It just, the fact that he couldn't maintain the complexity really worried me here.
They're hurrying around like a bunch of rats. And they're all blind, thinking they're in a groove, but living in a rut.